So, and sir has finished his research. He did his research in performance evaluation and innovative control strategies for power electronic converters in Pondicherry Engineering College in the year 2008. And his field of interest is that power electronics and drives, which includes PWM strategies to VSI and MLI topologies, AC drives. And professor has 21 years of experience, and I'm very happy and proud to say that sir is a first rank holder in Master of Engineering at the PSG College of Technology. And apart from this, sir is, I'm very proud to say that he's a gate scorer in 1998 in electrical engineering 1998. And the professor has completed 6 PhD scholars and ongoing, and presently four scholars are being and ongoing. And he has guided MTech master. He has guided 28 projects in the master level, and similarly 22 projects in the UG level. And sir has published nearly 78 international journals in the reputed journals, which includes IEEE Transactions, IET, and elsewhere. 2 national journals sir has published, and 62 and he has publications in 62 international conferences and 27 in national conferences. Apart from all, Professor Jeevanandam sir has authored for 3 books, out of that 2 in Oxford University Press, and has been co-authored for 3 more books. He has filed a patent. And also has organized 3 workshops. And sir has visited the countries like Singapore, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Germany, France, and Netherlands. And happy to say that Dr. Jeevanandam sir has got 2 funded projects, and he is a member of is a board of studies in the 8 autonomous institutions and 4 universities. And sir has delivered keynote address for more than 50 international conferences, and he has organized so many conferences. So this esteemed speaker, in spite of his busy schedule, has came over here to give his valuable speech. So let me welcome once again Dr. S. Jeevanandam to give his expert talk. Sir, please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Malathi, for the introduction. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
audible.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. My window is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I thank
Sir, sorry to disturb you, sir.
Yes.
Can you put in full screen mode, sir?
Already it is in full screen mode only. Oh.
Sir,
Now it is not coming full screen?
No, sir. The PPT is not visible, sir, or shared as, sir.
Now it's okay?
Sir, sorry, sir. Yeah, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I thank the institution, SRM institution, Department of AAA, and Dr. Malathi for inviting me for presentation at ATAL Faculty Development Program on global warming and impacts of power electronics towards green technology, in which we will be for another 1 hour. We will be talking about. We'll be seeing the role of power electronics, Onerous role of power electronics in the attrition of global warming. So power electronics, as you know that from roughly around 1960, this particular field of electrical engineering is growing, and from 1960, how this power electronics has contributed to power system, particularly power system, and as well as for the industrial sectors. Everyone knows that, and in turn, how this role of power electronics will help us in reducing the global warming. Right? So here I have used the word attrition because it means we can the continuous effort only we can reduce the impact of global warming. That is the reason I have used that, and for which the onerous or very great or great effort of power electronics, great role is required, and this reduction. I should have given the word reduction or suppression of global warming. It is not so, because the power electronics, I believe that it may not directly impact on that. So it helps the power. It helps us in the energy saving, particularly in indirect way only. It can contribute to the global warming. That is the reason I have used that word. So the sustained more involvement of power electronics can help the saving the energy. In turn, saving the energy will help us in the global warming. So for the entire presentation, the essence is, or the role of power electronics is saving of energy, I can say, right, in different way, right? So the various sectors, various domains, or various applications, the power electronics helps us in saving the energy. That's what we are going to see, the outline. So, energy is a lifeblood for the continued progress of human civilization. So, without energy, you cannot expect any industrial growth. And today, the world, the growth or the economy is based on industrial growth. And the civilized people believes that all their sophistication is based on energy utilized. Since the beginning of industrial evolution, more than 200 years or little more, the global energy consumption has increased dramatically to cater the need of growing population and accelerate our living standard. So, since from the roughly from 2 century, the industrial revolution has started, and it has definitely helped us in accelerating our living standard. And also now it is scattering to all sectors, not only for the Western countries, even even to the African countries. The living standard of human improved, and also the population also parallelly increasing. So to combat all this requirement, definitely the power energy consumption is more, and we have to generate more energy. And the per capita energy consumption, this particular term you should have heard, per capita energy consumption. This is actually per capita energy consumption is taken as an indicator for the development of any nation. So per capita energy consumption of any nation has been the measuring instrument. So it's a parameter people assume of its prosperity or the development. Right? So how much energy you are spending per person, right? How much units of energy you spend, and what is your population. You just divide, and you can tell the growth of your particular country. So today, a major portion of world energy is generated from fossil fuel. Everyone knows that, and the nuclear power plant also playing a role. Right? And fossil fuel, they are depleting and they may not be efficient, whereas the nuclear power plants are efficient. They are very clean, but disposal of nuclear waste is a little difficult. But normal running nuclear power plant, we can say it is clean. And fossil fuel resources are very limited. It's depleting and highly polluting resources. So now the countries or the world is trying to avoid this conventional energy sources like fossil fuels and nuclear power plants, and they are switching to renewable energy sources, as you know. Besides burning of fuel cells, fossil fuels, which causes the environmental pollution problems, and directly it is involving in global warming and climate change. You know that. So the fossil fuel, their burning results in objectionable gases or exhaust. They are directly involving in the global warming. And global warming causes sea level rise due to melting of glaciers and polar ice caps. That causes inundation of low-lying area of Earth, displacing millions of people. Right? So the low-lying area always they have problem. So this global warming results in flood and all. They may not be may not have day-to-day impact by this global warming, but indirectly that will lead us to this kind of things. Not only that, in addition, it causes an adverse effect on world climate, yes, such as drought, hurricanes, floods, spread of diseases. Even spread of diseases is again related to climatic conditions. There are some diseases very spreading fast in countries where the climate is very chill. There are there are some diseases they may where the kind of disease will spread where the temperature is very hot. So depending upon that, even indirectly the spread of disease also decided, and extinction of some animal species. There are some animal species they are no longer living now because of this global warming and climate changes, and even due to the deforestation. Besides affecting the marine life by ocean water acidification, right? So even in marine life, there are some marine life they have extinct from the normal living. Solving global warming problem without affecting the quality of our life is a very serious problem. So this point is more important, right? So in the beginning, I told you the essence of this presentation that it is. I'm not going to give you detailed calculation and all, but I will tell you. It will help you in start your study from this. And I told you the very important point is the monotronics helps in global warming in terms of energy saving, right? That is very important. And here, why we should bother about this particular point will go. Tell you the question. Global warming problem I have to solve, but without affecting the quality of our life. So that we are human beings or any country, they don't want to sacrifice their quality of living. They want to enjoy much, and they want to indirectly they want to keep their per capita energy consumption very high. So if that is definitely that will require more energy, and global warming will result. So how to solve the global warming problem without affecting the living standard? So that is a problem. So we have to live happily without causing much damage to the society or environment. Right? So that's what the main is. So live as simple as possible and perform less to the environment so that the future generation can also have happy living. So that is the idea. So very important point. So the electrical engineering aspect, the answer to that question is saving the energy first. Like generally any philosopher or any agency can tell us, live simply. That is very philosophical thing. Live simply, consume less water or consume less power. That is all one side. But being electrical engineers, our answer to this hypothetical issue is, what is that hypothetical issue? Solving the global warming problem without affecting the quality of our life is saving the energy, right? So that is our mantra for us. So note that nuclear energy does not cause environmental pollution like fossil fuels, right? So nuclear energy, yes, we have to understand, like the coal and other things, it may not produce much environmental pollution, but the safety aspect and the disposal of radioactive waste. The nuclear plant will give you a lot of radioactive waste. How we are going to dispose them? That is a problem. Risk. For this reason, world now increasingly uh, emphasizing the safety, safe and environmental clean renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, wave, tidal, geothermal, and all. So some of these resources are very cheap, and resources are very cheap and abundant in nature. But you have to understand, their conversion technology still it is costly, whether it is solar panel or wind. But they are very drastically they are reducing. Still it is costly. But the point is, the resources are very cheap and abundant. Right? There will not be any objection in utilizing them, exploiting them. Right? Whether it is wind or solar, no country will object or no society will object. Right? So that is the advantage. Whereas installation of other power plants will lead to a lot of social impact and a lot of political and social hesitations. So electric and hybrid vehicles, instead of traditional internal combustion electric vehicles, uh, can be taken as a clean energy solution. Right, this is one example. Right? And widespread conservation of energy with energy efficient applications is a definite way to mitigate our environmental problem. Right. So again, this point is more important. So energy conservation, energy saving is the ready solution which can be offered by electrical engineers, particularly from power electronics, to this issue. The application of power electronics is extremely important in renewable energy. Hybrid electric vehicles or electric vehicles, they provide improved efficiency. Right? So hybrid electric vehicles are booming like anything nowadays. So we will be talking about this fundamental, like industrialization and green, little introduction about greenhouse effect. So then we will be talking about the contribution of power electronics. Right. So this present scenario is predicted by United Nations, and they have given caution to the different countries, particularly much industrialized countries, right, including India and China and all, and regularly they are insisting to control their CO2 emission and all. And regarding the CHG, that is greenhouse gases, uh, normally abbreviated as GHG, is a gas that absorbs and emits radiant energy within the thermal infrared range. So they have the ability to absorb and emit radiant energy in the thermal infrared range, causing greenhouse effects. The primary greenhouse gases in Earth atmosphere are water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and ozone. So these are the primary gases, and we know that without greenhouse gases, average temperature, if without, you assume that the environment it doesn't have greenhouse gases, the average temperature of Earth's surface would be around minus 18 degrees centigrade or 0 degree Fahrenheit. But presently, rather than it is around 15 or 16 degrees centigrade, what we have today, that is equivalent to 59 degree Fahrenheit. So just imagine. So the situation would have been much better. It would have been in minus 18, but now we are in 15 degrees centigrade. So atmospheres of Venus, Mars, and right also contain greenhouse gases. Other planets also have this problem. And at current greenhouse gas emission rates, the temperature could increase by 2 degrees centigrade, that is equivalent of 3.6 degree Fahrenheit, which would United Nations, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, it is very abbreviated as IPCC, right? Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. So they have kept some upper limit to avoid the dangerous level by 2036. If you leave it, that will lead to a lot of problems. Vast majority of anthropogenic carbon dioxide emission came from combustion of fossil fuel, principally coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Right? So, who is the major producer of CO2? Undoubtedly CO2, obviously, and petrol, including other oil like diesel and all. So, petroleum generally, diesel, CNG and all, and natural gases, with additional contribution among the from deforestation and other changes in the land use. So definitely, apart from this burning of coal and other things, even deforestation, reduction in the vegetation also results in global warming. The word anthropogenic, it means human impact on the environment, right? So this is what human impact. So burning of fuel or deforestation, everything is the impact of human, not by anybody else, right? So let us see the. So here, in continuation to this, a lot of information you can gather, right? Like data like country-wise CO2 emission and the recommendations of IPCC. That are very interesting to learn. I hope you will go through that. All are data only, no concept to understand. Their recommendations are there, and their panel meeting, and year by year their regulations you can see, and country-wise emission and violation and all you can see. You can get those information. That will be much interesting. And industrial revolution. So this also a brief data I have given, but a lot of information you can go through. Human activities since beginning of industrial revolution around 1750 have produced 42% increase in atmospheric concentration of carbon dioxide. So roughly industrial revolution, they say 1985 or 1950 around this period they are telling. Okay, so that is in 17th century they are talking about, and they say 45% increase. That is from 280 ppm in 1750 to 415 ppm in 2019. Right? What is that ppm? Just glimpse over the last point. Units for measurement of the parts per million. It is called as parts per million. So it is standard measurement. Units, parts per million per volume, parts per million, parts per million, or a higher unit is parts per billion by volume, and they are talking about micrograms per cubic meter, micrograms per meter cube. So they are talking about. So for industries and all, guidelines are given based on this. And so here the evolution of industrial civilization is roughly sketched here. So animal and manual labors in before 1785. It is not 85. It is before 1785. This period, so completely animal and manual labors were doing all the time, and that those days the life was not sophisticated, and this period may be called as muscle age. And as I mentioned earlier, 1785 onwards, the Industrial Revolution has started. Until today, we are in that era. But amid them, we can divide 85 to 1785 to 1885, about 1 century. We can call it as mechanical age. So where steam engine, invention of steam engine by Watts, James Watt, and other heat engines were found, and there was huge invention of wheel, fire, and all maybe there in between, and that has led to a lot of changes in the atmosphere. So that is called as mechanical age. And after that, electrical revolution, 1888. So 1888 to 1948, they call roughly they are naming as electrical age. So again the industrial revolution for a mechanical engineer, it will be much interesting. Invention of diesel, petrol engine, steam engine, their comparison, lot of are involved. But for an electrical engineer, this era is much important. You can just browse and you can get the information. Like I will also try to give some more information on this. After finishing this topic, we'll go back to this and we will see what happened in 1888 to 1948, where you can see both people like Edison and George Westinghouse. They were doing the electrical business, like they were doing. I mean. DC and AC businesses, and one person was Edison was doing DC, and he was distributing DC direct current, and other company was producing AC current, and they were having a lot of quarrels in their business. It was very interesting. That period only, you can see like they developed electrical bulb and watt meter, measure energy meter, and they invented transformer and induction motor by Tesla. So all the inventions. So that will be much interesting for us. Right? And after this 1948, they call it as electronics invention, electronics revolution, that power electronics, integrated circuit, computer, communication, robotics, and so many things. It need not be mentioned, you know that. And particularly in 1958, roughly 1958 to 96, it's a good period for power electronics that led to power semiconductor devices in the market. Right. In muscle age, our lifestyle was very simple and sophisticated, and the environment was clean. In 1785, James Watt of Scotland invented the steam engine. I'm talking about the start of the mechanical era. That has pushed into their industrial revolution, and we were brought to mechanical age, mechanics. So industrial revolution gained momentum by invention of internal combustion engine in late 19th century. The wave of industrial revolution gradually spread off Europe to United States, from European countries to United States, and then to rest of the world. Electrical revolution or electrical age started by commercial availability of electricity in mid 1880s, when the same time the commercial induction motor was invented in 1888 by Nikola Tesla. So definitely the invention of induction motor and also the transformer, both are game changer in the in electrical era. So please remember the invention of transformer, that is by 3 people. That is a game changer, definitely a game changer. That was sent the DC business out, and that was helped. That helped the AC people to survive, alternating current people to survive. And another game changer is induction motor. We cannot say no. Commercial DC motors was introduced at slightly late 1873, and synchronous motor arrived in 1891. Right. So this 1888 you should remember, that is invention of induction motor. And electronics revolution or the age of modern solid-state electronics was ushered in invention of transformers in 1948. But in subsequently other transistors, diodes were invented. But 1958 was the time for inventing power electronics or power semiconductor devices. The Bell Laboratory invented thyristors called PNP triggering transistor in 1956, and then thyristors are semi-controlled silicon-controlled rectifiers was commercially introduced by General Electric Company in 58. Right. So 58 is more important time for the year for the power electronics. This brought us to a modern age of solid-state solid-state power electronics. We often say that invention of the transistor brought the first electronics revolution, whereas invention of thyristors brought in second electronics revolution. Gradually, the eras of integrated circuit, computers, communication, practice, and all those things have followed it. We now live in internet age that sprang the world into global village, and women society is now, so internet age, you know the benefits, and human society is now more independent.
Hello, sir.
Sir. Sir has lost his backup. Let me call. Dear participants, please be patient. I will be joining soon.
Okay, madam.